is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
Welcome to the podcast. Breaking news: Emily Ratajkowski's broken up with her bloke.
That was
Can you turn Sarah's mic on, Mako?
so.
Sarah's got
He
this.
was cheating on her, Sarah.
Yeah, look, just because she's super
How do you
hot,
cheat on Emily Ratajkowski?
again, it doesn't mean there's
It's a
something wrong with
sickness.
her. It may not be that the relationship was working.
It's a sickness that you
Oh
can't
my
get over
God.
straight away, can you, Tom? It takes years and years of therapy. Yeah, and you can get through it, don't you?
Thank you for your support and keeping it
Oh,
confidential.
okay. Sorry, he was cheating with you, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a twist.
Actually, we might have Emily Ratajkowski on the show very soon.
Well, not
sure
at the
she wants
moment.
to talk about it as well.
Yeah,
so
hey,
start with
No
it.
personals there.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show, Em. What happened to your marriage?
Oh.
Don't bring Robin Thicke up either.
Hello, Emily, you there? No, she's gone.
Em, and also the film clip where the world got to know you. That song was ripped off. Is that correct? Robin Thicke was sued. So what else are we going to talk to her about?
the song?
Hey, Emily Ratajkowski, well done on being in that movie. What was the movie she was in?
Tom,
You didn't have
Entourage.
any entourage. You didn't have any lines in it.
Well, she did.
It's almost
She
like
said a
they
few
wanted
things.
you because of your bosoms.
Tom,
Said the B word.
Didn't you say the other day short intro's a good intro?
Yeah, but when you're talking about Emily
what did you say in
Ratajkowski,
the office the other day?
milkers.
Tell us about
Oh.
people that pass away. What was that
Sometimes when you see an article of somebody and they've passed away and they're really, really good looking, you think, oh, it's almost more tragic than when someone not as attractive passes away. Because you go, oh, they had such a good life ahead of them where
Oh, sure. Whereas
it's more of
ugly
a battle
people,
for someone that's not
you've
as
just vacated space.
gifted.
So how do you think people are going to react when you go, mate?
Cheering.
There'll be no
So
clickbait there, that's for sure.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Let's talk about high libidos. Okay, here we go. So this is a big one. So Charlotte and Callum. Charlotte's 23 years of age. She's gorgeous, Charlotte, blonde girl. She's going out with Callum, who's a little bit older. He's 28.
Okay.
Callum needs it all the time.
Daily basis, once an hour, twice a day.
Twice a day.
Twice a...
It's too much.
It is
like,
too
I mean,
much.
it's knowing if she's working as well, if Charlotte's working, knowing it's probably in the morning, Sarah, but then
Yeah.
to know, oh gosh, it's going to be again tonight.
It's fine if she's in the same bracket as him. Great. If she's not, yes, it would feel like too much.
I have a mate like this, and he hasn't changed. He's probably 50 now, close to 50.
Yeah.
And John is just...
Oh, is it your old man?
No, it's
Yeah,
not
he
my old man.
is.
Tommy, you know who I'm talking about. It's definitely not John Whipfley.
No, it's not. No,
Since he cut Viagra out of his
Christine. Well,
out of his-
Christine's into it too.
out of his breakfast diet, he's really calmed down, Dad. We had to have him spayed. But he, this guy, his mind is always there. And I think it's almost like you're right. He needs it. It's not that would be nice. He needs it.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction. And he's gone as far as all sorts of things happen with him. And he finds ways of getting it regularly, like the cleaning lady.
Okay, well,
How do you know about that?
And I said to him, how did it start with the cleaning lady? And he said, I was standing in the kitchen one day and she was just telling me how lonely she had been. And I said, well, I can make you not feel as lonely. And the next thing you know, he's getting on with the cleaning lady. But then they stopped getting
she
it on and
wants a relationship though.
she just wanted it.
Oh, come on.
So that was going on for a long
So he-
time.
Hang
He
on,
was
he's-
cleaning.
He's in a relationship?
No, he's not in a relationship.
Right.
So he has to find it to calm the beast.
Can we get back to Charlotte? and
Sorry,
Callum?
Charlotte.
So Callum needs it all the time, twice a day. Charlotte can't do that. And Charlotte said to Callum, I don't think this relationship's going to last, so you need to make a decision because I can't do this all the time. And he said, well, I need it, so I'm going to have to go looking somewhere else. Charlotte's came up with a great idea.
What is it?
It's cost him a little bit of money. But she has introduced a sex doll into the relationship that looks like her that Callum can have on the side when Charlotte doesn't want to be there. Now, there's the photo, Sarah. So,
What a sloppy version of the girlfriend.
so the doll's name is Dee.
Hey, Dee.
And Dee was wearing the same dress as Charlotte there in
Yeah.
the photo.
But without a bra.
Callum loves the doll. But he also loves Charlotte. So maybe, Charlotte maybe it could be twice or three times a week for Charlotte. And then the doll, unfortunately, gets absolutely ravaged.
So what, you can just hear squeaking as he's making out with plastic.
Well, do you know what's concerning too? The doll he's obviously designed himself because the doll has bigger boobs than his actual girlfriend.
Yes.
So that's an insult to her too because in her mind, she's now thinking, well, that's what he really wanted altogether. You're right, Sess. It's just some sort of plastic noise coming from the bedroom, and then Callum's out the backyard.
Do you know what? She said, I don't have to get jealous anymore. There's no emotion there. She's not real. It's definitely spiced things up for me. She goes, every time I'm with Callum now, I feel like, we're into it a little bit more. She goes, it's changed our lives. It's saved our relationship.
It's just he gets to play out every fantasy he wants with the doll.
No, there is no fantasy that involves you getting off with an inflatable. Like, no one looked at pool ponies growing up and went, yeah.
When she's the banana ride. When she walks in and he's got her in all sorts of positions.
That's what I mean,
then that's him having his way when she's thinking, oh, that's what he really wanted with me.
Yeah, but no, it's not at all. He can still be intimate with Charlotte and they can still have a loving relationship. His addiction can be served, if you know what I mean. Actually, Jennifer's given us a call from Ingleburn. Are you dating someone at the moment with a high libido, Jen?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay, Jen, it doesn't match yours?
No, it does in some aspects. In some aspects, I'm a bit tired from work. I work a long day, but he's got the best sex room you could ever possibly imagine.
So, Jen, can I ask, how much does he want it?
He wants it at least 2-3 times a day.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a big ask. I mean,
it's a huge ask, especially when you come home from work and you're tired.
Of course. It's tough.
And then the sex room comes into it as well. Got a swing, you name it, got everything from Honey Birdette in there. He's got it.
Yeah.
Jen, was that something that you were introduced to by him, or this is sort of a collection of your own gear as well?
No, I had a collection of my own gear, but I was introduced to this by him.
Right.
He's got a hoist in there too to hoist me up.
Okay.
It's very detailed,
Is
Jen.
the hoist attached to the swing, or are they two separate apparatuses?
No, attached to the swing.
Right, okay. And do you wear a helmet when you're in the swing?
Chrissie Swan's
Chrissie Swan's just outside the studio. Chrissie, can you come in and introduce yourself to the lovely Jen? Jen, this is Chrissie.
Jen.
Hi, Chrissie. How you going?
Any questions for Jennifer?
Probably going better than you. I'm just listening to this conversation. I'm exhausted for you, Jen. I'm exhausted and concerned.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, but I'm tired.
Jen sounds
Doesn't
pretty
always
happy.
get it.
Do you know, can I ask Jen, too, because quite often when you're in a relationship after a long period of time, you both know what each other likes and therefore the act doesn't last all that long. But if you're going into some sort of dungeon, is it quite a session? Is it sort of a half an hour or an hour? Or...
Oh, you're looking easy a good hour.
Oh,
wow.
My God.
Jen, could you
Do you know what? I'm just concerned. Is there phone reception down there? Because I like Instagram all the time.
No, there's phone reception.
would you, I mean, if it's too exhausting for you, Jen, could you introduce a beautiful doll like Dee into the relationship and he could be with the doll?
You know what? He wouldn't be into the dolls. I just would have to introduce a friend.
Okay, right.
Friend.
We have options. I mean, share the time, half hour on, half hour off.
Do you know what?
Timeshare.
not a
That's
jealous
weird
person,
because
so-
this whole break is very Army Hammer.
Do you know?
He's just turned into a timeshare salesman.
Yeah, I've got the swing booked from 11:30 to 12.
Chrissie, do you
Yeah.
know what? I want Jen to win first class and 50k and not take her partner away. Take her friends and she can have a girls' trip away
So
somewhere,
true.
Jen.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you, guys.
Somewhere without a
That's
dungeon.
amazing. You are absolutely wonderful.
No, that's all right. And Jen, just stay on the line. Tommy wants to get your address.
Do you know what? Travel stress can take a hike.
With lots of fully refundable hotels, whatif.com has got you covered.
Just remember, booking cancellation windows apply.
So go and relax and book your next trip with confidence at whatif.com.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
I got a little bit excited about this. Just quick, I'm going to go through some of the bands that are reforming reunion tours in 2022.
Here we go.
So the Fugees, Rage Against the Machine's back. They're just playing at the moment. Pavement, Motley Crue, Swedish House Mafia
Wow.
came back for Coachella. Well, could you even ABBA? Could you say ABBA with their the digital avatar show that's heading to London?
Yeah, they got back in the same room.
TLC's coming back as well, Sarah.
I
Waterfalls.
love TLC.
How good is that?
Who's in TLC?
Well,
Left Eye,
Left
Chili,
in-
and
Left in Chile and Lopi.
No, well, one died, didn't she?
yeah.
Yeah.
Genesis, Blondie, they're all getting back together. Well,
have you seen Phil Collins?
Yeah, no, he said no more. They got back together and now they're no more.
But they did play.
He's in a wheelchair.
Genesis did play.
Oh, my God. He's trying to get an ex-wife out of his house, Phil Collins.
This is coming overnight, though.
What? Bombshell.
And apparently, one member of the band who was told to come in and fill in for someone who hasn't been there for a while he doesn't know where his status is in the band anymore. So they might get the original member back and these guys might be reforming.
Smash Mouth.
No, mate.
Is this Green Day?
S Club 7.
Blink 182.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't think they split.
Come on.
Didn't they just go on hiatus? Sort of thing?
Tom DeLonge, he hasn't been a part of the band for such a long time. And Mark, I don't think he and Mark Hoppus get along anymore.
Right.
But I think he's, remember Tom DeLonge was the one who started believing in aliens?
Okay. They remind me a bit of Offspring.
Well,
Offspring was massive.
Yeah.
There was a time, wasn't
They
there?
all sounded alike.
when that album Smash came out in the mid-90s.
That was huge.
Is this the one with Travis Barker in it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So he is just trying to keep up with a Kardashian, is he? And he's making the group get back together so he can make more money.
I didn't mind this song, Macca. Turn this one up. That wasn't bad.
Come on. You can't tell me that if Blink-182 came to Australia, team event.
No
Come
way.
on.
No way. That's a solo event for you, mate.
No way.
The whole team will back you to go. In fact, we'll buy you a ticket.
Well,
we'll get you there.
Do you guys think, and I'm Tommy and I are a bit shattered because we don't know if we were invited, but do you think that we could go with you and Sarah to the Hunter Valley to go see Andre Bocelli?
Tell me, where are the Andre Bocelli tickets?
Well,
I mean, are you
couldn't get
working on them?
Yeah, I couldn't get you any free ones at this
I don't
stage.
care about free ones. I'm happy to pay, Tommy. I just want to be there.
You know what? There's a big dilemma, though, everybody. It's the night of the Australian Radio
It's
Awards.
not a dilemma.
One's a serious show, one's not. Sarah and I will be at the Hunter Valley.
So you go to the Logies?
No, I'm not. I'll go to the Logies, yeah.
What? Is that a serious
That's
show?
a very serious event.
Seriously?
Are you laughing at the Logies?
Of course I am.
How dare you?
Of course I am.
If you need to go and watch Andre Bocelli live in Tuscany. You go and watch Andre Bocelli live in Tuscany, mate, and you watch him do Viva Palais with Heather Headley, who was the star of The Lion King in Broadway, the musical. And then you'll go, oh, wow. I don't think I can make the radio awards either.
Macca,
Well done.
don't put
Thanks,
up
Macca.
Andre Bocelli. What we need to do
Extraordinary.
is Blink get back together and tour at the same time. Maybe Andre could get up for all the small things.
Now that would be interesting. An Italian version. Macca, have you got that? Have you got Ed Sheeran and Andre Bocelli?
No.
Macca, crank that up.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
We were talking about reunions before because it looks like Blink-182, the original members, might be all back together.
Huge reunion.
Reunion. One reunion that we would love is Oasis. Everyone's screaming out for Oasis, aren't they? Mm-hmm. And you know what? Noel's got his own solo career. Liam, you got to give it to Liam, one of the biggest rock stars in the world. I thought his career was on the decline. Now he's back number one again and dominating all around the world. Liam Gallagher, he's a bit of a character. He is your typical rock star, though. Everyone loves him. Still, without doubt, Sarah, the best Red Room that Nova's ever had.
It was so good.
It
Wow.
was at the Metro Theatre, and it was just one of the best nights of all time.
Remember, he wouldn't let anyone take a photo of him
Why?
walking from the back of the room to the stage. I don't know,
What,
but
yelling out no photos?
no, he wasn't saying anything. He had his hood on, and his sunnies, and he was down. But the people around him were like, "Put your camera down." It was like,
But it
as
was
if I'm not going to take a photo. It was
This
just
is so
amazing.
cool. Like, we had members of DMAs there,
Yeah.
Delta Rigs. Everyone was asking for tickets, and he's just such a cool cat.
Yeah.
How's this? He's been with his girlfriend, Debbie Gwyther, for quite a while. And Debbie's just been snapped, guys, with a brand new engagement ring on her
Debbie.
finger. So they are getting married. The thing is that we need to talk about, when you're one of the biggest rock stars in the world, Debbie and Liam Gallagher have been engaged since 2019. And she's only just been seen with the engagement ring.
So, this bloke's a rock star. He's worth a fortune. And he has said, will you marry me without a ring?
No, he's proposed. This was on the Amalfi Coast in 2019. He actually spoke about it on the show. He said, I did it on the Malfi Coast. We were on holiday with me, man. Been talking about it for a while, man. Then batting it off. We both thought, let's just do it. I'm looking forward to it, man. So the wedding's next year.
Right.
But he's proposed, and Sarah, taken 3 years before he's given her the engagement
Oh, my
ring.
God.
Wouldn't be thrilled, would you?
Oh, what?
Everyone, look at. Can I see the ring? Can I see the ring? Oh my God! Congratulations.
Oh, we'll get it this weekend, love. We'll get it this weekend. Or next weekend, honey.
Well, he could... I mean, don't get me wrong. You could say, I'll leave it up to you, and you can go pick the ring of your choice. And it's... Do you reckon it would take her 3 years?
No, about 3 hours. You'd go straight to the jewellery store on the Amalfi Coast. My God.
It's a good effort.
That's not fair.
I mean, he's been married a couple of times before, so he's probably taking his time just to make sure that this is the right one.
You need to. Might have been a recycle ring also from an ex-partner.
Love to hear
Sometimes that happens.
So he's waiting to get it back from an ex before he gives it to the next one?
That's what it probably was, waiting for her relationship to finish, so then she could get it back, he could get it back.
It would have to be the most important piece of jewellery for a woman, though, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
Without a doubt.
I hope so.
How long did you have to wait for your engagement ring, though? Because like I said, I think the best option is to buy a plastic one and then you wait for them to make a decision because they've got to wear that ring for the rest of their lives. But did you have to wait a little bit longer than usual to get your engagement ring?
Yeah, but quite often the guy will do so much work to make sure that it's the perfect ring. It's the perfect rock, and in that moment, everything is perfect. And then, you know, when your wife decides to redesign and change the ring completely, you shouldn't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not angry about it. I'm not fussed about it. I wanted her to spend more money to get it redesigned.
It's tough to get loans out these days, isn't it,
really,
mate?
really tough. The banks are tightened up. They wanted to know how much my Netflix cost. But that's all right. I'm happy for it.
Mel in Gymea Bay, how long did you have to wait for an engagement ring, Mel?
Well, I was much the same. I had to wait 3 years as well. My husband had bought my now husband had bought the ring, and when I moved our units, I found the ring, which was a year after he had bought it because it had the receipt and everything with it. And then he was overseas for work on and off for the next 2 years, so I wore it everywhere, to the shop, around the house.
Yeah.
And a little while later, we had a fight about it, and he's like, you found the ring? And I was like, yes. He's like, have you worn it? And I said, yes. He's like, do you like it? I said, yes. And then after that day, I still had to wait another 6 months before he proposed.
Oh, so you found the ring before...
So
Wow,
before
okay.
he even proposed, you were wearing the engagement ring?
Yeah.
Good effort, Mel.
Now, so you should, Mel, too.
if
It's
he's
hanging
not-
around the
If
house.
he's away for work, he's not going to see you wearing it. Shay's giving us a call from North Ryde. How long did you have to wait, Shay?
I had to wait 5 years.
Why 5?
So we got engaged. He gave me a little plastic ring with a smiley face on it.
Yeah.
And we never got a ring. And until I got married 5 years later, he gave me a ring.
Oh, God. So did you wear the plastic smiley face for 5 years?
I did.
Good effort.
Oh, and what did you tell your friends when they were so blown away and excited for you?
We are no longer married, and I guess they were saying this is a sign, and I should have read the sign.
Shay, do you mind if I ask why it fell apart?
It was his problem.
It was his problem.
Right.
It was his problem. I think he needed to move on.
It's not me,
Right.
it's you.
It's always him. It's always him.
Let's go to Rachel from Shell Harbour. How long have you been waiting for an engagement ring, Rach?
Okay, so we're actually married. We've been married for 5 years.
Yeah.
We celebrated our 12-year anniversary on the weekend, and I still haven't got an engagement ring, but I have a wedding band.
Rach, can I suggest most of the conversations go something like, we must get you that ring. But then if you think about,
never.
if you think about what we could do with that money, we could have a holiday together. What do you want to do? A rock on your finger, or do you want to go to Fiji?
Well, we'd already had the kids. We'd have a mortgage going, so it was like, do you want to get married now? Yeah, let's just get married. But I drop little hints now and then, like, I really like that ring. That would be nice. Like, look at that one, but no, it's not coming, mate.
Oh, so do you know what? He's gone past the point of no return now because, Rach, you know what? You guys have been together for so long, married for so long, and he's going, well, I don't want to waste a couple of grand on a ring now. I can put it towards something else.
Yeah, put it towards, maybe a TV or something.
Well, you haven't got a TV either, Rach.
No, we had to get the big screen TV this year.
Oh, right.
Tommy, do we have a diamond company on the books to organise something for Rach?
No, really. I want Rach to win first class and 50k. And
So do I.
And take 3 of her mates and not her husband.
Yeah, and spend 50k on an engagement ring. Well done, Rach. Thanks for calling.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Lights, camera, clarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. Let's talk details from Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's wedding yesterday. So this is sweet. We know it happened in Vegas. Turns out there were 4 couples. They queued up along with everybody else. Wow. Waited for their marriage license. They were married just before midnight. The venue stayed open later for them. They were hoping there was going to be an Elvis impersonator there. There was not. Their kids were there with them.
Vegas?
Yeah.
That's a weird place to have it.
Well, that's where you can get and tick it off quickly. You can get the job done.
And it's the marriage capital of the world. So they went, they did this. So now they are technically married. They are going to have an actual wedding, though, in Georgia. He has a house there on the coast. Yeah. That'll be in the next few weeks with all of the A-list friends and extended family. We know that, Whips, you brought this up yesterday. She did take his surname. Legal documents have her as Jennifer Lynn Affleck.
Wow.
Yeah. I doubt she's going to go changing all her merch.
So
but,
she's
JF.
JF.
Well, is it Jayla? Jayla?
J-Lo, J-Lo.
Jennifer Lynn Affleck.
We're having a laugh,
Having a laugh.
The big one, though, no prenup.
You wouldn't need it.
Yeah, you
No,
don't.
I don't think so either. I think
Doesn't
they're
matter.
probably in a good place that they wouldn't bother with
There's enough
one.
in the tank on both
Sarah,
sides. It's not out of whack.
For both of them, I just hope that this lasts.
I do too.
I really do, because you know what? They've had some doozies over the years with relationships.
But they've come back together.
Do
know,
you
I
think
that's nice.
too says, I mean, I know it's not prenup, but there might be some sort of marital arrangement where J-Lo says, hey, Ben, just stay off the bottle a bit.
Well, I think he's got a few
Off
things.
the bottle, please, Ben.
Did he have a beer at the wedding?
I don't know.
I'll allow you to have 2.
I would think not.
2 mids.
If he was in rehab for alcohol, which it's rumoured that he was, then I would think no, he can't have anything. But they have both they were spotted in Georgia with her managers and things. Turns out this is what they were planning, was the big wedding. So that's very exciting. Awesome. Yeah. Guys, this story, I know you're both going to enjoy this one. So Miriam Margolyes. So we know her. She's a British actress. She spends a lot of time in Australia. You would know her in stuff like Harry Potter films. She's been in a lot of stuff. Long career. She is known for being very candid. She doesn't mince her words. She was doing a podcast for news.com.au, I've Got News for You, and she thought she would tell a story about how she feels about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Now, the 2 of them were in a film together, End of Days. Not sure if you've seen it. This was 1999, so it's a little while back. She starts with how she feels about Arnie and then explains something that happened on set.
Okay.
He's a bit too full of himself. He was actually quite rude. He farted in my face. Now, I fart. Of course I do. But I don't fart in people's face. He was killing me, so he had me in a position where I couldn't escape, lying on the floor, and he just farted. It wasn't on film. It was in one of the pauses, but I haven't forgiven him for it.
The Turdminator.
Wow! Oh my God!
He says, I'm trying to picture how she ended up on the floor for him to then fart in her face.
His character was killing her character.
Right, so...
And has her in sort of like a chokehold.
During the scene.
During the scene, but they weren't actually filming. This is the thing. She said it wasn't on tape. So we were sort of just rehearsing the scene, and he's dropped one. And
God, got her in the half Nelson, and then all of a sudden...
I mean, if you ever... That's the position to do it. I mean, no one can move, but that is... Arnie. Tommy, can we get Arnold on to actually...
Verify that, yeah.
Verify that.
We've actually been offered Miriam for next week.
She is fabulous.
Yeah.
Really?
She is stories galore. She gives everything.
Could we get one of those Arnie suits and recreate the moment?
No, mate.
With Miriam.
You
Is that
be
her name?
Miriam, Fitzy will be Arnie.
No.
I reckon she'd be better with that than having to live
let's
through
go
it
for
again.
that. Tommy, get her on the show.
No, I've had my Miriams over the years. Hasn't been a good history in the Big Brother house.
Oh, that's right.
This
Don't get
one,
that, Miriam, Tom.
a little bit different. Finally, guys, Russell Crowe has returned to his gladiator roots. He's taken his family to the Colosseum in Rome. You have to have a chuckle, where he's put up a picture of them all together saying, taking the kids to see my old office. God love him.
You know when you take your kids back to where you grew up?
Yeah.
And they do not give us stuff. Like, you're in the car and you're giving them a tour. That's where I used to... That was my stocking with a cricket ball, and I'd hit it off the tree, and they don't care. Well, they don't care at all.
Well, hopefully, seeing as the family flew there private, they appreciate that the Coliseum means a lot to them.
This is a bit bigger than Fitzy's ball in the stocking.
No, do you honestly think that the kids are going to be all over this with Dad at the Coliseum?
Imagine being a punter walking around Rome. And you've woken up in the morning and you've said to your partner, "Hey, we should go to the Coliseum today." You get to the Coliseum and you see Russell Crowe at the Coliseum.
That would be amazing.
You'd be blown away.
Do you think there was a moment where Rusty, just to get a bit of a chuckle, because it was not just his two boys, it was their mates as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a big group of them.
Yeah.
Does he do...
Totally.
Am I not entertaining?
No, that's not the line. Are you not entertained is the line. So he would not do the wrong line unless he'd completely forgotten.
No, just to see if they picked it up. Just to see if it was...
Oh, as a test, sure.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
You know what? We need to talk more about Ed Sheeran. Because it wasn't long ago that we were talking to Ed Sheeran and we knew that he'd given Elton John a huge marble member as a birthday present. And then we said, hey, what about us? Next thing you know, Tommy comes into the studio. He's got two wooden boxes.
This is 7 months later.
Yeah, that
from when we spoke to him.
Shipped from the UK. We had no idea what was in the box. We broke them open.
Do you know how hard it is to get things shipped across the world at the moment?
Not if you're Ed Sheeran.
God, a legend.
There are two giant members, and they're big. They're really big. It's quite a manhood. And what do you reckon, Josh? What do you reckon that weighs? 40 kilos?
Oh, yeah, I'd say 40.
And they're painted in Aussie colours, and the detail in the member is quite graphic.
Well, he's been doing a bit of art himself, so Ed's painted these just for us.
I love the way it just sits on the desk in front of you, mate.
I know.
It's big, isn't it?
I mean, it just feels like an old friend.
You know what I mean? Your buddy.
Tom, don't rub your hand over it, man.
No, you shouldn't touch it like that.
No, I was seeing it. Like I was seeing if it would break away, but it's very solid. Very.
Do you think it is marble? I mean, there's 40 kilos.
It might be more, cement block or something.
It means a lot to us, but we want to share it with the world, don't we? Because I know there's other radio shows that were a little bit upset that they didn't get them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? This is like holding on to something really, really special. And I think Sydney does and needs to see more of Ed Sheeran's artwork. Do you know what I'm thinking, though, Fitz? Like, if we were to tour or get this out to the people, I think it needs a form of presentation when you reveal it. So I'm picturing, like, imagine if the member was standing up straight, maybe on a small bed of possibly mod grass in a box, and then every time we open it, there's dry ice just coming up from underneath, and maybe a sound effect. Mark, have you got like a heavenly sound effect or something?
Too much. No, I don't. Do we really need dry ice?
Like a Jack in the Box, does it spring up?
No, we can't have it spring up. It's too heavy for that stairs. It could kill somebody. And then I was thinking the other day, if we got it out and about, does it need a helmet on? I mean, it looks like it already has one, but would it need an extra helmet?
What, on the back of a motorbike or something with a helmet on it?
To paint a picture, if you put a human head bike helmet on the end of it, that's how big it is. Like, it would fit quite well. Just for touring. I mean, you've got to have safety. You don't want to break this beautiful piece of art. Have you got onto Ed Sheeran at all, Tommy?
Yeah, we're still waiting to get Ed, guys, just to confirm, because we want to confirm that he actually painted it, because we know he's into painting, and that would obviously, make it even more of a draw card. So Ed will be joining us within a few weeks, guys.
I find it hard to believe there wouldn't be one person in Sydney that didn't want a selfie with Ed Sheeran's private member.
Well, that's the marble member. Hey, I think that we need... It's not... I feel selfish that it's here in the office the whole time. I think we need to share it with Sydney a little bit more.
Is this like when Warnie's baggy green cap that went on tour around the nation?
Yep. Sold for $1 million.
Yep. Do you reckon you can get the same thing?
I don't think we get $1 million for these.
Do you know... I mean, do we make like a trailer... and it's stuck upright, and we just tour and people can wave at it, almost like a royal parade, or like the Premiership Cup. And you get a chance to wave it as it drive past.
Do you know...
Streets are lined just to see 1 metre marble member from Ed Sheeran.
What about the...
with the other part.
What about when Whipper went on Celebrity Apprentice and they got the outline of his upper torso? Could we put the member on the top and has his head. Like, I mean, I think they could go together.
I thought you were going to put it at the bottom of the torso, which would make more sense.
We have been looking into if we make sort of miniature ones, smaller versions as show merch that you could give away, like mini members.
Right.
But they would blow the budget at $390
Don't use that phrase,
per member?
Per mini member.
What?
Yeah, I know. If you want it exactly like, solid as a rock like that, then you need $390 per one.
You can get moulding kits.
Yeah.
For at home to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So why don't you just do yourself, and then we'll get heaps of those made.
Tommy.
Just you in the communal garden out the back, and Inga handing you a bucket of plaster.
Yeah, fighting off the neighbours.
Well,
Tom's on the bucket again.
Here's an idea. You know the kangaroo scrotum.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, huge. Heidi Klum loved it.
Could we do ginger ones?
They are, aren't they? Kangaroo, big red. If you get the ball sack of a big red.
Could we?
I mean, really
I
red.
think just to present back to him, Tommy.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. That's a really good gift.
He might not like...
It's a bottle opener as well, which goes with his punch recipe that he got from Russell Crowe.
And his bar,
And his bar, and the bar mats that we got him as well. Watch your Ed. Watch your Ed.
He's a bit of a wildlife lover, so I'm just worried that he might not be
I like
so much into the sliced...
I'll get a quote for it today.
Tommy, would you consider, I mean, if people's minds are running, and if you haven't seen what they look like, we need to get it up on Instagram again, Tommy, because I want you to think about how you might need this.
Yes.
You know, if you've got a party going on, you need a talking point. Are you decking out your house, you need something. Is there a wedding? And I don't know, you want two of them to line the gates of the reception or something like that.
I love that.
Damo's given us a call from Erskineville. You've got a suggestion on what we can do with the statues, Damo?
Yeah, gents, this is art and the public needs to see it. So I reckon you should, dress up as security guards, get into the New South Wales Art Museum and put it on display where it belongs,
In the gallery.
It's not bad, is it?
If we took in just a white box Fitz to stand it on, it'd look like it was presented properly by the gallery with a little plaque on it.
Yep, there's quite a bit of security around there.
I wouldn't worry too much. We could get through. Just with that on a trolley, because he couldn't carry it. It's too heavy.
I do like getting it out to the people, though, for events. Maybe work. We were talking team member of the week at work.
If you're at work and you need team member of the week. I mean, we did also discuss if you were to drill a hole, sort of from the eye to the base and put water out, it could be a nice feature. It could be a nice water feature.
Not bad.
Off air, he suggested the chocolate fondue fountain, which
Of course he did.
Which I don't.
You're not into that one?
No, I don't.
Because if you stood there and it was presented in sort of a buffet style dessert bar, and you had the chocolate flowing out of the top, and you could just grab a donut. You could grab your donut and dunk it on.
Getting a real insight to your fantasies here, mate.
What I'll do, how about we'll put a story up on our Instagram now, and ask people, do they need or do they want? Well, not need it. No one needs it.
But
do
you need it. You need it, Tom.
I need it. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you talk to a team about how we would travel around and present this? I want dry ice, Tom.
Yes.
And to me, it's like the Melbourne Cup or some of the Premiership Cups. We would require white gloves to touch this.
I don't know about that one.
You remember when the Super Bowl came in? Very similar piece of... a very similar sort of thing. And the security guard, you weren't allowed to touch it. I mean...
We want people to be able to put their hands on Ed's member.
Okay.
But you need, obviously, we've got to get it to them.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll put the story up on our Instagram right now. And, big day today.
Big fella on the desk. Keep your ideas coming. All suggestions welcome.
It's up now. It's gone up.
Right,
it's just gone up.
We're on.
Yeah,
Go to the Fitzy Whipper Instagram page. Have a look.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Hey, can we talk about Akon?
We haven't heard about Akon for a while. I know he was starting his own city, was he?
Well, no, he had his own cryptocurrency.
That's right.
You got any Akon in the system there, Macca? This song at the time did okay, I thought. But do you know Akon's worth $60 million?
Is that because of his crypto?
I think
it's not his music.
Yeah, no, he had another one, sexy thing. Damn,
you're a sexy chick. Sexy chick.
Something like that. Yeah.
Very high voice.
I mean, he's not doing private gigs. He's not getting booked for weddings, is he?
Oh, you never know.
I'm having a party. Let's get an artist. Akon, cancel the party.
Yeah, nightclubs.
Come on.
Hit in Vegas.
Okay.
Come on, I could do better than this.
What we've done
Easy.
some research on Akon, right? And because he made so much money is because he toured so much.
Yeah.
And he performed so much. He works really, really hard.
Akon.
But we've got an update on that. T-Pain's come out on a podcast over the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And T-Pain has told everyone why Akon performed so much and why he made so much money. Now, the person that I think he's talking about, Boo, here, when you hear that, that's Akon's brother. Have a listen to this.
Boo would get on that stage and say he was Akon and lip sync them lyrics as much as he could. And they would pay for that every time. He couldn't do nothing. So Boo would go on stage, Akon would be overseas somewhere getting the same amount of money at the same time.
So he had someone else moonlighting as it.
Stunt double.
So Akon had his brother that looked like him do one gig on one side of the world and Akon would be on the other side of the world and they were just cashing in.
Awesome.
That's really good.
Pre-social media and so many gossip websites, you could get away with that.
Well, see, that back then, Sarah, that's what they said. Social media wasn't massive. So this was early noughties and they could get away with it. You couldn't now.
T-Pain's in a bit of trouble, I would have thought. More pain.
Oh, no, you're not, because you can't give it back, and you would never know.
See, you're going to be sued.
No, but you won't know. How do you know that you didn't see the real Akon?
Well, you could go and look at something and go, all right, well, Akon, you were date stamped in Ibiza, right? At that time because people went to that show.
Yeah.
Then how in Detroit were you performing on the same night?
Well, no, but see,
But which one was real?
Who's the shonk?
I think that you could actually go out there and look for more Akons. Remember when the Wiggles did this around the world, and in every country there was a franchise of the Wiggles.
Puppetry of the Penis did that.
Well, we're doing like Puppetry of the Penis.
How do you know it wasn't the original?
Imagine if you could have a franchise of Akons all around the world and just raking it in.
Ladies and gentlemen, an Akon.
It's Akon.
It's so hard not to say Akon.
It is hard to say Akon.
Well, it's sort of Akon.
Akon-ish. Huh? I thought we bought tickets to Akon.
Akon-y.
Maybe it's a beacon and
Beacon.
a C-con.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good.
You sit there and you go, God, these people would be so mad they didn't get the real Akon. I reckon those promoters are going, couldn't get
Yeah, the fact that you spent money on any Akon is your failure.
We don't want anyone to know.
Well, you're right. No one's going to admit it,
No
MBG.
one.
So
At
you're
all.
telling us when we were having such a good time singing So Lonely down the front, that wasn't the real Akon?
Oh, man. You're dead right. It's a fail-proof plan. No one will admit to being at the show.
Nope. Akon, he's a massive con. He's done
pretty good.
really well.
What a beauty.
That's such a great story. Great way to finish off the show, you know.
Well,
Like, really, like, you know.
I enjoyed that story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan, for presenting that and sharing this morning.
I've got more, but guess
Hold
what?
tight.
I've got to go. I'll be back again tomorrow.
Thanks, mate. Tommy, we were talking about Ed Sheeran and his generous gift of a Meter High marble member that he gave us.
Yeah.
We threw it out there. What do you want to do with this? Should we tour with it? Who needs it? Team Member of the Week?
Yeah, so many suggestions are coming through, and you can suggest now on the Fitzy and Whipper Instagram page. We've got, this is good. The most popular suggestion at the moment is the bridge climb.
Oh, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
It's a
isn't
sort of-
it?
Get up there.
You've got to lock it in as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because everything that you take up on the bridge, it's got to be
tied to you.
Well, it's got to be cabled to the side of the bridge.
And wasn't it? It was $25 million to put a third flagpole up there. How much do you think it'll cost to put a fourth flagpole up there?
The Fitzy and Whipper Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.